8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello. Welcome to EM Publishing's March live stream, which I'm shooketh that we're already in March and a quarter of the way through the year, because 2025 has felt incredibly long and incredibly quick at the same time. I don't know if it's been the same for you. But anyway, hi. If you don't know me, my name is Jess. I'm the business manager at EM Publishing, and today I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what we're doing in the future with EM Publishing. We did a blog post recently talking about some future plans and projects. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll happily answer them. I'm going to go into more detail about a few things, and I've got some art previews to show you for some upcoming books, some sneaky ones that we've had in since last month. So we're going to go through all that. So I'm just going to jump in. And as always, just like I said, put comments in the chat and I'll try and answer them live if I can. But if you're catching up later and you have a question, you can always send me an email. The email address is on the screen. It's the admin email address. Or if you're a crowdfunding backer, if you can send us a direct message on whether it's BackerKit or Kickstarter, you can send us a direct message there. And it'll probably be me that will reply to you. But anyway, so let's go. What we got going on with EM Publishing in March. So first of all, I'll start by doing a shipping and fulfillment update. So if you are a backer of one of our crowdfunding campaigns and you're waiting for some rewards, let me tell you more about that. So starting with the Void Runners Codex. So earlier this week, I did a backer update to let everybody know what's going on. So we're looking to have June be the fulfillment date for this. We're just waiting for the final sample from the manufacturer at the moment. And once we have that, it'll be a month or two printing, and then we'll get the books going out to everybody there. So that's kind of the plan. So we're just waiting on the final draft of this coming out, and then that will go there. Because of the timing of this, we're going to the UK Games Expo in the UK, which is the big games convention. So see some of you there. If you're going and you would prefer to pick up your game at the UK Games Expo, we might be able to arrange that, because we'll be planning on sending them out in June. UK Games Expo is like the 1st of June if it ends. We might be able to get some of the books there. So if you would like to do that, send us, me, a message, either directly on Kickstarter, because that's linked to your pledge. That's really easy for me. Or send me an email to the email admin email and give me the details of your pledge and say you'd like to pick up at the UK Games Expo. We'll, of course, cancel any shipping fees for that because you're picking up in person, so we don't need to ship it to you. So if you would like to pick up in person at the UK Games Expo, we might be able to arrange that. But if not, don't worry, it's going out at the same time anyway from the warehouses, then that'll be the plan. So that's what's going on with the Void Runners Codex. Very similarly with Split the Horde as well. So Split the Horde, we're looking to be fulfilling, I think that'll be around May time, maybe creeping into June. But similarly, if you would like to pick up at the UK Games Expo in person and not have any shipping fees charged for you, that's an option there. Again, exactly the same way. You can send me an email and say, oh, actually, I'd like to pick up in person instead of having the shipping to my address. And we can arrange that for you and take off any shipping fees if you're going to the UK Games Expo. Also, if you're going to the UK Games Expo, you can meet myself, Morris, and PJ in person. So we will be on the EM Publishing stand throughout the weekend, so you can come say hi, obviously. Myself, Morris, and PJ will be doing a live recording of Morris's unofficial Tabletop RPG Talk podcast on the Friday at 2 p.m, which is the time we'd normally do it as a live stream, but instead we're doing it live in person. And you can come along to free for that if you're at the UK Games Expo. So you can come join us there and be part of it in person. Also, I am running a game of Level Up Advanced 5th edition from our starter box set on the Saturday, and I think there's still 2 seats left on there, and you can book that on the UK Games Expo website directly, so you can buy a ticket and then you buy the role-playing game sessions that you want to play, so you can go and do that there. So if you go to the UK Games Expo website if you're going, or you can come by the stand and say hi at any point, and if you would like to pick up your games, you can do that there. Similarly, for the Monstrous Menagerie 2, I think we might be able to arrange pickups in person there as well. So if you would like to pick up in person your copy of the Monstrous Menagerie 2, again, send me an email. I'm repeating myself a lot, and we can arrange that and cancel your shipping fees, so you don't have to pay any shipping fees for that. So about the Monstrous Menagerie 2, the production for that has gone really nicely. Touch wood, gone really smoothly. So we closed the backer kit very recently, the Pledge Manager, and we're originally planning a June fulfillment, but we already confirmed all the files and things when the Pledge Manager ended with the printers. The print samples came through, everything was perfect, we didn't need any changes, which is so nice when that happens. We always put in time for that to happen, but because, you know, sometimes little tweaks, but everything was great. We're really happy with it, so we approved it. So it's been printed, it's now boxed up, and I'm just arranging the shipping for it to go from Europe to the printers to the UK or to the US for localized fulfillment. So that means it's likely going to be April or May maybe for fulfillment, depending on shipping times and times at port. So it could be with you a little bit earlier than planned, which is always nice. But also, again, if you don't want to do shipping, you want to pick up in person, send me an email and we can do that for the Monstrous Menagerie, for the Monstrous Menagerie 2. So very excited by that. Similarly, we have the Gate Pass Gazette Annual. Now, this was our first Backer Kit crowdfunding campaign that we ever did. So thank you for everybody that migrated from Kickstarter and moved to Backer Kit with us. That was really, really great to see. The Pledge Manager for that is currently open. So if you missed out the Gate Pass Gazette Annual 2024, you can go to Backer Kit and via the Pledge Manager, be a late pledge there. That's no problem. It is closing next week on the 28th of March. So, and this is when any extra PDF files will be sent to you. So everybody had instantly fulfilled their copy of the Gate Pass Gazette, but people had add-ons of, I don't know, the Adventurer's Guide or things like that. So those will be sent out to you on the 28th. And the reason that way that works is because with Backer Kit, there's a setting that you can't get your rewards until the payment's been taken, everything's been locked down. And that's happening on the 28th. So on the 28th, everything will be locked down, payments will be taken, and then we'll push out your rewards to you that way via Backer Kit there. So that's happening. Also, the printing for this, touch wood, has gone really well as well. And we're actually printing them at the same place as the Monstrous Menagerie 2. So they're currently being boxed up and sent, and we're going to put them on the same boat as the Monstrous Menagerie 2, so they go together. So again, I believe we originally said June for the Gate Pass Gazette, but again, this is likely to be April or May, a little bit earlier. But we'll do updates and send you direct messages and tracking, obviously, for your individual orders. But it's going to be a little bit earlier than we thought, which is always nice. But yeah, so that is the Gate Pass Gazette Annual. And last but no means least, we have Secrets of the Grave. So this is our spooky quick starter we did just recently. So unfortunately, there are no late pledges on this because we ship and fulfill them really, really quickly. So we do these print on demand opposed to an offset print run. So it means that they can go out really, really quick. So we've already done the digital fulfillment for this. So that's all gone out. Surveys are open for backers. They're going to close on the 28th next week. And then I'm immediately going to place the print order, and then it'll be with you within 4 weeks. So if you're a backer, you can expect this in April as well. So a lot of fulfillment happening at the moment. So myself and Zin are very busy doing all the fulfillment bits and pieces. And that's kind of where we are with fulfillment. So we're nice and busy in the first part of the year, getting ready to fill all those rewards for you. So thank you very much for backing and supporting all of those. But you're not here probably to listen to me tell you about what's currently going on, because you probably all know. You want to know what's coming next. So this is the next thing I'll tell you after I have some tea. So what is next in 2025? So we did do a blog post on the EM Publishing website, which kind of goes through and has all these links. So if you can't keep up with what I'm saying and it's all a bit all over the place, don't worry. The information is all on our blog post at empublishingrpg.com. So if you go there into the news tab, all this information is there for you. But I'll talk you through and give you a bit more info. So the next thing we have, our next crowdfunding campaign will be another quick starter. So again, this is one where we've got the product ready to go. We send you the PDF, the digital files, the same day the Kickstarter ends. Then after 2 weeks, as soon as we get the payment, we place the order and it gets sent to you the following month. So this is really, really quick. So Machines in the Deep, I'm really excited for. So this is for D&D 5e, of course, because it's backwards compatible with Level Up A5e. You can also slot these into your A5e games, but it's originally designed for 5e. And this does work with the 2014 or the 2024 rule set of 5e. So whichever one you're playing in your games, you can use that. And what this Kickstarter is really good for is if you have your own campaign, your own world, things you're doing, this gives you stuff that you can drop in there and add to it. Because I know a lot of people like to have their own worlds and their laws and histories. But this is bringing in a bit more of a mechanical not quite, almost sci-fi inspired items, but it works for a fantasy setting. So these are all like mechanical, clockwork, or machine type things that work in a fantasy setting. So they're very much dressed to fit in with that classic 5e world lore. So it has war machines in, which are really fun. So they're different items that you can like ride into battle. So there's a kobold clockwork dragon, there's a goblin coal tank. So there's all this fun stuff there. So there's 5 of them included in there. So if you want to include them into your world to make combat a little bit interesting, or make some adversaries that your players are going to come across have something they've not seen before, 5 war machines there. There's also 11 items, and these are magic items. They're fancy dressed, but they are inspired by sci-fi. So there's like a biometric boomerang and fun things like that. So they're things that kind of you might see in a sci-fi setting, but we've taken it and we've made it work in a fantasy setting using magic and the lore of the world around you. So great, 11 items there. There's also 10 clockwork mechanical wonders. So there's the clockwork mule, which is and it has functional use for your players. So that can like have some carrying things for your party to help them with their traveling and journeying. There's the map minder as well, which helps them explore and locate certain things. So these are all kind of clockwork mechanical wonders that they can use in their game. And you might not use all of these. You might just drop these in different adventures. They're really fun for that. And then we have 2 adventures, and these adventures go from level 5 to 7. So the one that is flexible for 5th to 7th level is Machines in the Deep, and your player is going to explore this underground facility, and it's filled with powerful clockwork technology. And I'm sure everything will work wonderfully and nothing will go awry whilst your players are there. And then we also have Diva's Rescue, which is really fun because it contains this NPC called Fizzywig, which they're an inventor and they make loads of items. Really fun dude. But their favorite device has gone missing. And so this is a rescue mission that your players are sent on to rescue this device from a situation. And it's got there's VTT maps with it and stuff like that, everything you'd expect to go with the adventure as well. And that's for level 7 player characters. So this is a really nice thing to kind of drop into your existing campaigns, a little side quest adventure to go alongside your main arc if they're at those levels. So yeah, that's Machines in the Deep. So you can, click to be notified when we launch. That'll be the next thing that we do. Oh, I clicked the wrong button, but everything's okay. Nothing exploded. But yeah, so that'll be Machines in the Deep. So if you click there, you can follow that and be notified when we launch. That should be in a few weeks. Usually I just like to finish up, like I say, next week on the 28th, we're closing the surveys for Secrets of the Grave and sending them out. So it'll probably be like after that, once we just got that tidied away. So it's all nice and tidy with that. But that's the next thing that we're working on. Coming up after that, we have the Level Up card collection, the Ultimate card collection. So we very recently sold out of the combat maneuver cards. So I do apologize if you are on our website and you went to buy them. They are completely sold out now. We do still have some left in the warehouse, but they're reserved for Kickstarter backers who have already chosen them as add-ons or part of bundles. So we have enough to fulfill what people have already ordered, but we don't have any spare to kind of sell after that. And this is fortuitous timing because we are going to be, as I mentioned, doing the Level Up Ultimate card set. So we will be doing, obviously, combat maneuvers as part of that, as part of a card deck, but we'll also have other items like exploration challenges as card decks, maybe some information on spells and expanded combat maneuvers for different things that we've had. So basically, this is going to be a deck of cards to support your game, including much more than that. And we're planning on the pledge tiers. You can get the Ultimate Collection, which is all of them, or you can just pick and choose the things you want. So if you're just like, I just wanted the combat maneuver cards, Jess, what is all this? You can just buy the deck of that. So we're planning on doing it that way. So this is really exciting. Francita, our art and layout manager, is picked up this project and is doing a lot of the graphic design for it, which is really fun. And Russ and Francita are working on this as we speak at the moment, so that'll be kind of a really good thing for Level Up. So apologies that the combat maneuver cards are sold out, but you will be able to restock here with that, and we'll be doing reprint and replenish everything on there. And I'll just pop the link for that, the link for this in the chat, so it's easy for you to click through instead of copy and pasting from the screen. But yeah, Level Up Ultimate card set, that is coming up there. So I hope you're excited for that one. Then we have the much long awaited What's Old is New Bestiary. So What's Old is New if you're not familiar with it, we have a starter box set, so you can kind of try it out and see what you think. That's available on our website and in your friendly local gaming store. So it's D6 dice ball system, but it's a crunchy role-playing system which has a life path journey system, and each of the different systems, so old is fantasy, now is modern action, and new is sci-fi. You can cross, they're all like the same kind of core rules, but they each have additional stuff depending on the system. So for example, the old system has magic rules which aren't in the other ones, and things like that. So that would make sense. And there's things like psionics and new. But anyway, if you're a fan of What's Old is New, you know all this, and you've been waiting for the bestiary. So so this is coming out. So this is being written by Russ. So I went around and collected loads of stats and things that I wanted, and the book has over 400 beasts and things in there. They're organized by kind of different genres. So there's a range of all 3 different genres in. Now, some items, of course, can be can work with any kind of setting you have. Like if you have a guard stats, well, a guard could be modern, sci-fi, or new, and we have notes on how you flavor them for those settings and variants for them that make sense for depending on the setting you are. We also have a whole chapter on how you can edit these. So if you have a really specific setting for your game, because What's Old is New is really a toolkit RPG to run your own stories and systems in, so a lot of people use it that way. So if you have a really clear idea of what you want and something's close but not quite, we have rules on how to adapt that to make it work for you. And then we also have a whole other chapter of creating something from scratch. So if you're like, none of this is quite what I'm looking for because my setting and my world is specific and I have really clear ideas of what I want, we have a whole chapter on like, okay, here's from the ground up how you build something and create exactly what you're looking for, whether that's an NPC or a monster or whatever you have there. So hopefully that'll be a really helpful tool to add to What's Old is New. We might be also doing a reprint of the core rule books version 1.3 because we're running a little low on those on stock. So we might take the opportunity to kind of do that with this as well. But yeah, so that's the What's Old is New bestiary coming out as well. I've got some pretty art things. So this art that you're seeing, I love this. It's by Yi-Yong Lee. And we're using a range of artists in, but these are some of the examples of some of the artwork and what the book kind of will look like with the artwork inside. So we almost had, I think the majority of items within it have artwork available for it. So I think it's 80% when I went through and was going through have art. So there's a lot of art that we possibly can use. When we go to layout, we'll see how that lands, but there's a lot of art available. But this isn't the What's Old is New bestiary. And if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. I can go back to it. But I'm just going to keep going through and talking through, because the next thing we have is the Companions Compendium, which is if you have backed Monsters Menagerie 2, you will have seen that we have information on heroic companions and how you can have companions to your party that level up and grow with you. And this is really an expansion upon that idea across a whole book. So this is information about how you can have pets, or you can have NPCs that stay with you and they have their own abilities and things that they grow and do. There's also player options in here and cultural options. So are you part of a culture that has a particular affinity with a particular type of animal or beast? Like we already have in the LSR world, there are, I can't remember what they're called now, but there's someone in the chat correct me, but there is the culture where they're really attuned with horses, and they're horse riders, and so they have proficiencies and skills and things like that. So we have other cultural options like that which give you some affinities with things like that and abilities like that. And last month I showed you this sketch that's on the screen for the cover art of this lovely little dragon guy. So that was a sketch that we went with, but the artist has now completed this. So I think it's interesting to see the stages that we get art in, because getting art in is always quite fun because it makes it feel real. So this is a slightly colorized version of it. So this was just what's sent to us to give us an idea of what the color scheme is and how it's going to kind of look. So that's the next version, and then the final form with all the details and the lighting done and everything like that is here. So this is what the cover is going to look like with this little guy. And if he was a companion in your party, what would you name them? I don't know. But anyway, so I'm super excited. And the great thing about doing the Companion Compendium is we have some amazing art coming in for it, because it's really fun to do. So some of this art hasn't been seen before, I don't think. I didn't get permission to share it, but I'm going to do it anyway because no one can stop me now. So I'm going to show you some sneak peeks of some of the artwork that we've had coming in. So we do have some classic companions beasts there. Like, of course, we're going to have a dog. Anyone that knows us at EM Publishing knows Russ has 2 dogs. I have my dog as well. So we're all about pets and the dogs. So we do have a good boy over there. But we also have some fantastic and magical item beings in there that you can join you there. So we want companions that have some utility, that make you feel cool, that do stuff, but that are their own personalities, and like I say, level up and have their own rule set. And it just helps you as a GM, I think, with but yeah, it gives you the tool set to run these kind of heroic companions and have them in the party. And look at this. Why would you... I don't have words for how adorable this thing is. I'm as smitten as the character in the drawing is. So they are just the cutest things I've ever seen. So yeah, I'm really excited about this book, The Companions Compendium. Again, if you give it a follow on Kickstarter, the launch page is up when it launches. That will you'll be notified if you click this, and it also helps us because it helps other people see it. The more people are following the project, it just helps algorithm stuff. I don't really know how that works, but it helps with that. So the Companions Companion will be launching, and this will be in the summer or Q3 is kind of the plan for that. At the moment, it's being edited, I believe. So we're getting close to passing it to layout. So over the next few months, we might get some previews of specific beings, or maybe the contents page or something like that to go out, so you can take a look about it and get more information. But we'll probably plop that on the pre-launch page. So if you go and follow the link on the screen, it'll be notified when we launch, and you can get more info there. And I believe we've got the chapter summary outlined on there, so if you want to read through that and get a little bit more information, that's on there. But yes, so that is the Companions Compendium, some sneaky art for you. But that is not all, because we keep doing things. So we have another quick starter planned, and I love this artwork. Isn't it adorable? But yeah, so we have Into the Woods. And this is a quick starter again. So this is one of those ones where we're putting it together now, but it will be at the time of launching. This will be like the 3rd quarter of the year. Into the Woods, again, is the idea is that if you're running your campaign, you want to drop in encounters, NPCs, or little adventures, side quests that's going on alongside your main arc. This is what this does. So Into the Woods works for any kind of woodlands or forests and things you have in your world. So you can tailor it to your lore and your world. It brings in new player options. So it's got new character species of nymphs, and there's different varieties of the subclasses. There's earth, forest, and water nymphs in there. So if your player characters are wanting to play that sort of like nymphy dryad type thing, that's there. Also, that comes along with some new feats and options for them as well, of course. Also, it brings 12 new monsters in that make sense for kind of forests and woodlands. They go up to CR 11. So these are really good things to like smatter in the woods as little encounters as they're journeying through to get to a place. And there is a really big villain, Cassilla the Spirit Fae, which is almost, because she's a villain with her own backstory and things fleshed out, this can almost be like a one-shot session in your campaign if they encounter her to deal with that situation. And villains are a bit more than a monster. They have a bit more fleshed out kind of backstory, lore, information and things that you can drop into your game. But yeah, and that is Into the Woods. So if you have woodlands or forests in your game, this could be an option for you. Again, this will work with Level Up A5e because it's compatible with D&D 5e, but it was designed for 5e, and it works with 2014 or 2024 rules there for you. But yeah, that's Into the Woods. And lastly, Alpha Star. So at the beginning, I was talking about the Void Runners Codex. So this is a box set that takes your 5e games and jets them into space, pretty much. So it's a sci-fi setting using 5e rules. It's designed for Level Up Advanced 5th edition, but of course, because of the way it's modular with 5e, you could just take Void Runners and use it with 5e. The Void Runners Codex isn't standalone. It's designed to either be used with your D&D 5e rulebook or with your A5e rulebook, whichever ones you have. But yeah, it's a sci-fi setting system, and we love this. I think this is a bit of Russ's baby, because sci-fi is his real love in role playing. Like, fantasy is great, and of course we play a lot of that, but I think sci-fi is the thing that he really enjoys. And so he is the editor for this brand new magazine that we have currently, Alpha Star magazine, which is based off one of the locations in the Adventures in the Void Runners Codex box set. So Alpha Star magazine is going to be a quarterly magazine that you can either have digitally or printed as print on demand magazine, obviously, and that'll be every quarter, and it'll expand the rule set of the Void Runners Codex. So it'll bring you more new content every quarter, which that'll be new magic items, new monsters, new encounters, new adventures. So it's basically a way for us to continue supporting the Void Runners Codex and bringing new content to it there. And this one we are going to be having on BackerKit. Interestingly, so we've decided that the Gate Pass Gazette and all those sort of Alpha Star and those things are going to have a home on BackerKit. So that's going to be where you're going to find kind of that information on there. There is a pre-launch page. The link is not easy to look at by looking at the screen. You don't want to type that out. So I'm putting it in the chat in the comments. So feel free to copy and paste that into your browser if you'd like to be notified when that launches. That's going to launch once we finish fulfilling the Void Runners Codex. Void Runners Codex should be fulfilled in June. So this will probably launch around July time once we're confident everyone has their stuff. So if you have your Void Runners Codex books and you're happy with them and you're like, yeah, I want this and more, Alpha Star will be launching and will be there and available for you. But yeah, so we're really excited about launching this. We also have other magazines that you're probably aware of, but I'll just go through them. So we have one for D&D 5e, which is Insider, which is EN5IDER. That's been going on for a very long time. We're having a big change in next month, actually, because Patreon has changed the way that they change the way they do their pricing pretty much. So we're having to move to a monthly option, whereas before you pick the content you want. So we're moving this and making it a monthly magazine in the same way. So if you're an Insider patron, Mike's been doing updates to let you know what's going on with that. Mike Mallard, the editor of the magazine. But we're going to be moving to a monthly magazine for that. So there'll be a digital version where you can get that all digitally. And we'll be looking to get you a version where you can print on demand that as well each month at different pledge tiers. So that's Insider magazine. So that's for D&D 5e, and that's designed in mind to be suitable for 2014 or 2024 rules. And we also have a monthly magazine for Level Up Advanced 5th edition, which is Level Up Gateway. No, it's not. That's a different thing. Sorry. The Gate Pass Gazette is the magazine. And if you go to patreon.com/gatepass, that has the information there. And that is, again, you can get a digital or a print-on-demand version, and that is a monthly magazine with new Level Up Advanced 5th edition content every single month. So if you're looking for more stuff to put in your games, that's the source where it is there. But yes, that's enough about our magazine. I briefly started talking about Level Up Gateway, so I will now actually talk about it. So what's going on with Level Up Gateway? So so Gateway, for those that don't know, if you go to the website, you can see this is our online character builder for Level Up Advanced 5th edition. At the moment, it's in alpha testing, and it's just available to our original Kickstarter backers. So if you're one of the 6,000 OG Level Up A5e backers, you will have access to this. We will send you a message with the details of it. If you've lost it, you can send us a message on Kickstarter and we'll resend you your access code. But yeah, so it's currently in alpha testing, but it's a character creator, really. So it's where you can build your character and it works out everything for you. It works very similarly to D&D Beyond. So if you're used to using D&D Beyond to create your 5e character sheets, this will feel very much similar to that process. We're adding loads of new cool features and loads of good stuff. So we're going to have campaign managers. We haven't decided the pricing yet. We actually have a meeting planned this month to talk about that. We do know we always want to have a free version of this that will contain the core rules. So anyone can always just log on and make a character sheet to make Level Up accessible and fun for everybody. But we are going to have some paid subscription tiers that will help us pay for the maintenance and the coding and keeping this going as a product as well. So I'll get back to you on how we're going to do that because we haven't decided yet fully. But yeah, so Level Up Gateway at the moment, what's going on with that? So when I last spoke to you, I said our goal was to get all the character classes up to level 10 so that you can make them to that level and we can start testing that out. So in March, we've got an update, which is on the Level Up 5e site. So if you go to Level Up Gateway, there's a news tab there where you can see the information. And this month, the Berserker, Herald, Marshal, and Ranger are all supported to level 10. So that's out and available now. So you can make level 10 characters for those classes. Next month, we should have the Sorcerer, Bard, and Druid up to level 10. So those are the last 3 classes that are not at level 10. And then all the classes available on Gateway will be up to level 10. And then we're going to have a chat about if we want to move to a bit more beta and open up to more people testing it. If you are trying it out and using it, it should work really well, but it is in an alpha stage. So there is on the website for Gateway, there's a way to report any bugs or issues or things that you see there. If you're building something beyond level 10 and it's not working, that's because it hasn't been built yet. So that's not necessarily a bug. It's just it's an alpha testing and it goes up to level 10 at the moment, except for the Sorcerer, Bard and Druid, which we should do next month. So that's kind of the path on that, and we'll give you more of an update. But we're really keen to get Level Up Gateway out there and open and available for more people to use. So we'll be having more chats about that with you soon. And that's kind of all the main highlights and news I have at the moment. So that's a big rundown information of what we got coming up and what we're doing at the moment. We've just booked a stand for Dragon Meet in the UK and London as well. So if you're going to that, we will be there. I'll give you more details as the year goes on, because that doesn't take place till December. But we'll be in person at the UK Games Expo in June, or last weekend of May, actually. Yeah, because I think it's 29th of May or whenever that weekend is. So we'll be there in person. So if you want to come and say hi, that's where we will be. Next month in April, there won't be a monthly live stream because I am away at a family wedding for many weeks abroad, because I'm lucky to have family that live in nice countries and want to get married there. So there won't be a monthly live stream next month in April, but we'll pick that up again in May. And that'll be the third week of May. But if you go onto the website, if you go to empublishingrpg.com, on the front page, it has all the dates of our monthly updates we're going to be doing for the year, so you can catch up with us here. As always, if you're not watching this live and you caught up later and you had a question or I didn't address something you wanted to talk about, always send me an email to the email address on the screen there, or you can send us a direct message via Kickstarter or BackerKit. This is generally better than putting it in the comments and things like that, just because we don't always, the whole team doesn't get a notification when a comment goes up, but we all get notifications when something goes to email or the message is there. So just make sure we can get to you a little bit quicker. But yeah, I think that's all the information and news I have for this month. So I might say thank you very much and goodbye. Catch you next month. If you want to chat to us again, we are live every Friday at 2 p.m. British time, which is 9 a.m. Eastern time. Oh no, it's different because daylight savings at the moment. 2 p.m. UK time, whatever time that is where you live, if you work it out. But yeah, every Friday, myself, Morris, and PJ will be doing the week's news with Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG talk. So wherever you're watching that, wherever you're watching this, you can watch that tomorrow. And hopefully see you there. Thanks very much. Bye.